Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, the Federal Reserve is reaching further to buoy the markets. In an announcement on Monday, the Fed said it will start using its powers to buy individual corporate bonds. The central bank, which has been buying exchange-traded funds, says the latest updates of the secondary market corporate credit facility will help support market liquidity and the availability of credit for large employers. According to the announcement, the SMCCF will purchase corporate bonds to create a corporate bond portfolio that is based on a broad, diversified market index of U.S. corporate bonds. The index is made up of all the bonds in the secondary market that have been issued by U.S. companies that satisfy the facility's minimum rating, maximum maturity, and other criteria. This indexing approach will complement the facility's current purchases of exchange-traded funds. The Dow Jones Industrial Average responded to the stimulus by adding another 200 points, wiping out losses from early Monday morning trading. The latest intervention from the Fed aligns with its series of measures and emergency cash injections designed to patch gaping holes in the financial markets, with investors navigating a downtrend stacked with historic single-day losses triggered by 19. The governments around the world have announced recently that they are going to continue to pump as much money into markets as humanly possible, printing trillions of dollars to keep markets floating, because there's no real interest in the markets, especially when you look at how many people in the US have currently still lost their jobs, and there are more people all the time who are trying to apply for unemployment. The last numbers that we had were 44 million. I think the good numbers, air quotes, that we had coming out was that apparently 2.5 million of those 4 million people had actually gone back to work or had been brought back part-time. But that once again also discounts the other millions, if not tens of millions of people across the United States who are still without jobs, who are still not also legally able to even apply for unemployment benefits. So a lot of the movements that we've seen from the stock market over the last couple of months, not even weeks, have been based off of money printing, pushing that money into the market to buy up securities, exchange-traded funds, or bonds, or trying to make the markets as liquid as possible. Because most people are broke, and the people who aren't broke are staying away from the stock market. So, yeah, very weird time to be in finance. Here's the actual Federal Reserve press release on their actual website, where they, discuss and say all the things that we just said. Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because they know what they're doing. We know what they're doing. And the markets are basically propped up by absolutely nothing right now, because they're just simply printing money or tapping on a computer, creating money, and trying to make markets float. I wonder what would happen if none of that fake money had been printed, and the terrible markets and or companies were simply allowed to fall. Like, there was an article I read about a day or two, no, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. There's some car company, I want to say Hertz. Is it Hertz? I don't remember if it's Hertz. Who is apparently bankrupt, and apparently people, like, they're bankrupt. Like, there are a couple of companies right now, and they're calling them zombie companies. They are bankrupt, not like half bankrupt, like they have no money left. And people are buying their stock because they think it's like a good deal, and they're like, yeah, they'll come back. And the company's like, no, like we're done. Like, we have no money left. So this is all going to come to a head at some point. But here we are. Markets are still, traditional markets are still rising on falsified hopes. And that's just what this year has pretty much been about so far. Anyway, let's move on. And probably I mean, when it just doesn't get any better, like, this is probably my favorite story of the entire year so far, and we've had some really good ones. Self-proclaimed Bitcoin inventor Craig Wright has appeared to claim that he was the hacker of Mt. Gox in 2011, when 79,956 Bitcoin, worth around $751 million today, was stolen. Once again, it appears that, allegedly, Craig Wright hacked Mt. Gox. In a letter sent to Bitcoin service provider Blockstream, Wright's law firm SCA Ontier alleges that he has control over 2 Bitcoin addresses. One of the addresses specified is the same address that received the stolen Bitcoins from Mt. Gox. This is according to the then Mt. Gox CEO, Mark Karpeles. It says the one Feeks address contains 80K Bitcoin stolen from Mt. Gox on the March 2011. Craig Wright is claiming to have been in control of this address until recently, admitting legal liability for damages and interest. This was said by Karpeles on Twitter. Decrypt has seen the letter and received confirmation that it is indeed real. Here's the tweet right here. Bitcoin block explorers confirm that the address currently contains 79,956,000 Bitcoin, which is currently unspent. So just so we're clear, Craig Wright has just openly admitted by his lawyers to be the guy that stole 80,000 Bitcoin from Mt. Gox. The screenshots below show the court documents indicating the one Feeks address is where the stolen Mt. Gox funds were sent. This was tweeted by Monero developer Ricardo Spagni. In the letter, Wright's lawyers claim that access to this account was stolen from him on the 5th of February 2020, and yet, bizarrely, they want Blockstream to do something about it. It says, and I do quote, Tulip and Dr. Wright believe that, as those responsible for the Bitcoin Core blockchain, you have duties in relation to transactions on that blockchain in circumstances where you have notice of the interest involved, including in particular avoiding illegitimate transactions being entered on the blockchain where you have notice of the same. The letter states. How this did not, this should be the news of the year. Backtracking, so those of you really get the historical context, this man claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. In a lawsuit that's been going on for quite some time, we have heard from the news and the internet, the news that we have received, is that apparently he gave, the judge said, hey, you have to prove that you are actually in possession of 1 million Bitcoin, which is what part of the lawsuit is about, because someone's saying, hey, he doesn't have 1 million Bitcoin. He produced a long list of, I think, 30,000 Bitcoin addresses. I think that was the number. Gave it to the judge and said, these are all mine. About a day later, tons of people came forward and actually signed their blocks digitally online, showing that he actually did not have claim to many of those addresses because they belong to other people. Because people, if you have your keys and it's your Bitcoin, you can sign the block and say whatever you want on the block. You can write stuff on it. People were like, nope, this does not belong to him. This belongs to so-and-so. And now it appears that that long list of addresses that he claims to own, one of them has to do with the stolen coins from Mt. Gox, which, after all of this, if this is one of the addresses that he gave to the judge and to the court last year, and it does legally contain those coins, and he's claiming ownership of it, and those coins have been unmoved since 2011, are you putting 2 and 2 together? I saw this and I was like, this isn't real, and I looked around and lo and behold, it's actually real. This is one of the most compelling stories of the last 2 to 3 years. I feel like this story will simply go on forever. Anyway, yeah, that's the. I mean, what? Like, how BSV still has any value is literally the reason why BitConnect had value. And even after, for those of you who were not here, BitConnect was the largest scam that we had in the cryptocurrency space in 2017. I mean, like absolute, like blown out of proportion largest. The coin went from around $200 or $300 per coin to around 20 cents per coin. Like it evaporated into dust. Even after it dropped, people were still buying it, expecting Mt. Gox to come back and saying that Mt. Gox still had real value and that the people who had essentially what is said now scammed them weren't scammers at all, and that the coin would eventually bounce back. So people still put their faith. I mean, stop it. I mean, what more do you need? Anyway, That's news. The story just keeps getting better and better. I assume by the end of this year, there will be aliens or something else involved. Anyway, I mean, sorry. That's that news. Let's move on. Also, in other really weird news, buying shares of Grayscale's Ethereum trust would require investors to pay a premium upwards of 750% compared to Ethereum's current price. Grayscale is a company that provides institutional investors, rich people, with exposure to the prices of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether through their trust products. The company's Ethereum trust is currently selling shares of Ether, with one share representing 0.09 Ether. So less than a tenth of one Ether. In other words, for one to own a full Ether, they'd have to purchase slightly more than 11 shares. However, according to the company's official website, the market price per share at the closing market time on the 12th of June, 2020 was $195, where the worth of Ethereum holdings per share was just $22. There's a little number thingy right there. Put simply, an investor would have to pay more than $2,000 to own a full Ether through Grayscale's Ethereum trust. This represents a premium of more than 750% compared to Ether's current price. Grayscale investors are also happily paying a premium on their Bitcoin products as well. The current market price per share is $10.88, whereas the Bitcoin holdings per share equals $9.01. This means that investors are paying more than a 20% premium on top of Bitcoin's price right now. Isn't this the weirdest thing you've ever heard in your entire life? Why would you or anyone pay? Like, I can see a 2% premium. I can even see a 5% premium. But even then, that's 750% premium. You could buy. It just doesn't make any sense. So here's the actual Grayscale website. Here's the Grayscale Ethereum Trust area. Here's the overview of their entire thing. Here is the annual fee is also 2.5%, which is just fantastic. Ether per share is 0.09. And here's the market performance showing the chart, and I assume a large part of it was and then the actual, the rest of how the prices have been going. The market price per share, $195, and Ether holdings per share is $21.32. Right. We've had premiums before in the past. There were, I think there was a premium in Lebanon. There was a premium in Venezuela. There were premiums in parts of Asia, as the supply of circulating Bitcoin within those exchanges was very tight. $2,000 per Ether is highly unorthodox, especially when you're able to roughly buy around 10 Ether. For that same exact price. Maybe they're future betting on what Ether is going to be and they're just simply paying the future price. But I feel like if I could buy 10 Ether for 2,000 and the price does go up to 2,000, I have 20,000, which is more than the 10,000. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but the cryptocurrency space is always full of weird stories. And it just so happens to be that people are paying 2,000 per Ether. Maybe they're time travelers or something. I don't know. But even then, you would time travel yourself to Coinbase or Binance. Anyway, that's the Ethereum money price news. And let's move on. Next up, this was going to happen eventually, so we all should have expected this news. China is taking the fight for cryptocurrency supremacy to the world stage. A private sector-led plan to create a pan-Asian digital currency to rival Facebook's Libra and challenge the supremacy of the US dollar reportedly has the backing of Beijing, according to an article published in the Nikkei Asian Review on Sunday. The scheme, unveiled at a high-level political advisory meeting, the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, or the CPPCC, on the 21st of May, would create an East Asian digital currency based on a basket of Asian currencies: the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, the South Korean won, and the Hong Kong dollar. The result would be a cross-border digital currency with China's soon-to-be-launched digital yuan, or DCEP. And at its core, the ratios of the currencies in the basket would be determined or denominated by the economic scale of their associated economy. Such a payment network could support the free trade agreement being negotiated by Japan, China, South Korea, and create a trade zone independent of the dollar. Fantastic. Here's the actual Nikkei Asian Review News website. It says, China takes battle for cryptocurrency hegemony to new stage. We knew that China was already developing their own central bank digital currency. We've also had news before that there are many countries who are under sanctions at the moment who are allegedly accumulating Bitcoin in an effort to be able to trade freely amongst themselves. And the news that we had a couple of years ago, that before I even made this channel, was that there were many countries, I believe it was China, the UK, France, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th country, had all come together to announce that they were going to be using, I think the initial plan was to use the Chinese currency as the new world reserve currency, or the basis of a new bank. That was, of course, smacked down very, very quick, because the US dollar is supposed to be the it coin. It's supposed to be the everything of the entire world. However, if you've been paying attention to the news, things with the US dollar are not looking too good. A lot of countries are actually a little worried about the overprinting or the overcreation of the US dollar. And also, realistically, people want to get away from using one currency. A lot of countries would like to use their own currencies, or a basket of their own currencies, to kind of get away from something that they were told to use in the 40s and 50s if they wanted to play nice. So, yeah, this is, I mean, it's kind of all over the place. As far as, it's clear that China's creating theirs. We've had news about this for about a good year and a half now. They're going to be creating their own digital currency. We had news that Facebook was creating Libra, which apparently is still going to be launching, because we keep getting news about that as well. Libra, in essence, will have access, I think it's, 2.1 or 2.5 billion people on the planet who have access to Facebook, Instagram, and or, almost said MySpace, Instagram and WhatsApp. What was the other part? So a lot of countries around the world and other, whatever, are all trying to try their bets or try their hedge or trying to make their own digital currency something before Facebook launches theirs. And the time frame that we have is between now and November, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, this was going to happen. I assume realistically, actually realistically, in 20 to 30 years, we're going to be telling our kids the story of how everything was pegged to the US dollar, because that will not be a thing anymore. Between Bitcoin, major countries trying to accumulate or even just create their own digital currencies to get away from the US dollar, and also all the other, get ready for this one. Remember that we had news before that after Facebook coin was supposed to come out, there were allegedly plans for an Amazon coin and an Apple coin. If those also pop up, that is going to be relatively the beginning of the end, because these companies they're not a country. They are relatively worldwide. And if you start giving your customers the chance to be able to use your digital currency to be able to buy your products, especially imagine if Apple had something where every single time you bought an Apple product, you got 2% back of the money that you put in it in Apple coin. You would probably only choose to use Apple coin, because Apple coin would then also be used as a currency in other places as well. There'd be tons of other places, the same exact way when you walk into a shop and it says you can use Visa or MasterCard or Diners Club. Is that still one? And all these other things. This is probably going to happen with digital currencies as well. The idea in the future is that, speculation, that countries will simply start buying up Bitcoin, as it is going to be the most stable thing in about 15 to 20 years. They're going to base their currencies off of Bitcoin, but they'll also have different names, but Bitcoin will kind of be the reserve currency for all of them. Fascinating, no? Anyway, yeah, this will revert result, I assume, in more tariffs and whatnot and other sanctions and stuff like that. But cryptocurrency does not care, because that's what cryptocurrency is for. Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on. Also, I mean, this very, very weird news day. I mean, it's kind of odd. Here we go. Fintech bank known as Revolut will give its users legal control of their cryptocurrencies on the 27th of July. But the UK-based bank is tightening its hold on how they can actually wield it. So stay with me here. Revealing twin policy changes in an email sent to users and obtained by CoinDesk on Monday, the mobile bank said it will cede its status as the legal owner of Revolut's 5 available cryptos. They are Bitcoin, Ether, LTC, XRP, and Bcash, over to its clients who purchase them next month. There's a catch, though. That crypto still cannot leave Revolut's client ecosystem. Users can't transfer cryptocurrency to anyone who's not a Revolut customer. The updated terms and conditions read, detailing that while users have complete control of their crypto, they will not be able to carry out transactions themselves. Once again, you will have complete control over your crypto, but you can't carry out transactions and it can't leave their platform. One of the weirdest stories that we've possibly had this year. And even more so, you won't be able to do this until the 27th of July. And it appears that only after that time will you then have control, air quotes, over your crypto that still can't be transferred from their platform. This is, and I'm going to tell you, this is interesting and could potentially, just going based off of what they're saying, be very dangerous. Because, like many other platforms that are trying to get into the cryptocurrency space, a lot of people are asking, do you actually, as this company, hold these cryptocurrencies? Why am I not able to withdraw my cryptocurrencies from your platform if I am the owner of them? What was the other one? There's another huge platform where people are buying cryptocurrencies and you actually don't own those crypto. And they're actually, it's actually just a number denominated on a screen as to how much crypto you hold. That's not good. Like imagine I'm a bank and you buy gold and you give me that gold to custody. And one day you're like, oh, can I have my gold back? And I go, no. You're the owner of this gold, but you can't take it out. How do I use the gold? Well, you own it. But how can I? No, yeah. It's yours. But you can only transfer it to other banks within our network. How do I get it out? Well, you're the owner of it. But how do I? You're the owner of this gold. You get it? It's kind of weird. So I assume, this is my assumption, I am assuming based off of the information that I have gathered from reading this article and things on the internet, that there are many companies around the world who do not actually hold crypto, or not a lot of it. They may even have people on their platforms who think that they are in possession or own cryptocurrencies, but they don't. And this is one of the only very few, and I mean, this is taking a lot out of me to say this. One of the main reasons why I think that Coinbase is slightly okay, regardless of all the other random stuff they've been doing, you're still able to withdraw your crypto from Coinbase and from Binance and from Kraken and from many other platforms. This is not the first time that we've had news similar to this. It is extremely, the word isn't creepy. It's a little odd that they are, that means even right now that if they have to give you legal owner status on the 27th of July, that means that you are not the legal owner of their crypto. That means in essence, probably somewhere in the contract it says, we can shut down our platform and any crypto that we have on here is ours. and even more so making you the legal owner of it, but you still can't withdraw it as it cannot leave their ecosystem, is sketchy. It smells very, very fishy. What are you supposed to do with that cryptocurrency? How do you withdraw that cryptocurrency? Revolut is also ending crypto card payments, one of the few ways its users could use their crypto outside of the ecosystem. How are you supposed to have access to your cryptocurrency? What do you do with your crypto when you want to sell it? When you want to custody it? This is fishy. This is very, very fishy. You know, what's the saying? Not your keys, not your crypto. If you have not already, I would look into learning about how to custody your own crypto. I would also look into, if you have any friends, because we all have them, who are looking to get into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, make sure that they know or need to understand that when they're buying their cryptocurrencies, that it is theirs and that they are able to take it off of these platforms. So make sure as you are knowledgeable to point them in the right direction, because do you see? It can't leave their ecosystem. You can't do card payments, and you're the legal owner, but you can't withdraw it. What can you do with your crypto? Am I just looking at numbers on a screen? Do you own? Like, does the company actually have the crypto that I gave them the money for? That's that news. If you happen to be on a platform that you think might be similar, contact them, try to get your money off of it, and learn how to start custodying your own crypto. Or even, like I said, completely honestly, you can take your stuff off of Coinbase and Kraken and Binance. You know, there may be like a daily or monthly limit, but honestly, I'd rather you have a daily or monthly limit as opposed to never being able to take your crypto off. That's that news. And let's move on. That's weird, man. That is really, really, that's incredibly oddly weird. And to finish things off, 8 new members have joined Hyperledger, including several firms targeting tokenization initiatives. Hyperledger is a consortium of firms working on open source enterprise solutions using DLT, Distributed Ledger Technologies, launched in December 2015 by the Linux Foundation. The project has since received contributions from IBM, Intel, and I think also, I'm pretty sure Microsoft is also one of them as well. Blockchain veterans among the new members include IOHK, that is Input Output Hong Kong, the company behind Cardano, IOV Labs, formerly Riff Labs, and crypto-friendly payments platform Public Mint. Other new entrants include Japanese consulting and PR firm Binary Star, and Atomize, a tokenized platform launched by Switzerland's Trust Token AG. DB Systel GmbH is a digital-focused subsidiary of German railway company Deutsche Bank. Morris von Bohnen, it's too much to read. Underscore, blah, 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 across industries. So Hyperledger is yeah, here it says it right here. Hyperledger pushes for tokenization standards. These are pretty much major financial and or cryptocurrency or technology companies who are trying to make lay the ground framework for how the blockchain industry will be dealt with or used. A lot of them are creating or have created or are integrated into a system where if mega enterprises are trying to get into Hyperledger or use Hyperledger Fabric, as it's called, they will then use these blockchains as well. I'm pretty sure Ethereum is part of Hyperledger. So cool. The main news being that Cardano is now a member of Hyperledger. Sure. All the major faces in crypto have joined Hyperledger. So I guess it was only really a matter of time. And I guess also because we're supposed to be getting Shelly relatively soon. So if Cardano is able to handle tens of thousands of transactions, it makes sense that they will be then part of the Hyperledger fabric. Yeah. Kind of cool. Awesome. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Yasha Harari, Moonman High, XRP, The Pothead, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, John Sarts, Indiana Marita, Bibliophoba. Yeah. Todd Mullis, Adam Grayscale, Moher Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Wish, Third, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangi, Alavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Cal Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Buddy McButtface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17. I was like, what am I reading? Arfmedic 17, Make Me a Cake, Tigura Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, Bolero Bastos, and hold on, I have to sneeze. Whoa, I just threw my phone at my computer. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Weird times in the cryptocurrency space. The market's going up now. I assume it'll be different by the time, the future happens. Anyway, this is also the movement upward from the drop that we just had, which is also, I mentioned before, the drop was, it seemed a little fake because there was no reason for the price to actually go down. Anyway, yeah, weird every single day. You think the crypto news just won't get more insane. I mean, man, if that information is true and he was actually in possession or is in possession or was in possession or did it, the whole Mt. Gox situation, I mean, just when you think this year can't get any more insane, you have people spending 2,000 for Ether. And hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might. This is weird. This is very weird. Wherever you might be, I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.